Hello there, everybody. My name is Roberta Bobbie, and you are welcomed again to another episode on Heartfelt with Bobbie. And today we will be discussing sexual hygiene. What is it about? What do we need to be hygienic about? Is there even such a thing as sexual hygiene? Are you feeling comfortable?
Irie.
Who taught you the word Irie, Jagero?
I hear it in reggae songs. This place is so cozy.
It is.
Like people of the internet, this is one of the most expensive rooms with expensive art in Nairobi, only found at Amka Cafe, and we are here. There is lots of huge big name alcohol hapo, lakini wamezipeleka juu so that they are not caught on camera because we have no deal with them. How are you feeling?
I feel good.
Since you started hanging out with me, you've been going to great places, right? Kweli tu.
Jagero. Let me leave this one for you. Yes, Jagero. Yes.
Or we can put it simply that since I think when you start having conversations and people are seeing what you're doing and the conversations that are going on, people tend to invite you to great places.
Yes, you get to hang around, nice things, enjoy nice experiences.
Yeah.
Even things maybe you could never have bought for yourself, or places you'd never have taken yourself. Not because you can't afford it, but because maybe you're not privy to the information.
Yeah, but sometimes also affording them might be like, I don't know. Sometimes also affordability is also, you know about affordability because you're a woman.
Well, you're right. I won't argue about that. I was just thinking about, why I really, really love men.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of such things, like they cushion us from, it's not that I'm very oblivious or ignorant towards how much things cost. But a lot of the times I think about how I don't even know how much something is because my man took care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling.
It's a privilege for men to be taking care of those things, but also sometimes it just fucks them, Like I have this beautiful woman that I really, really want to show the world, and I don't have the capability of showing her the world. And then there are other vultures circling around you saying, make a mistake and we show you how it is done. You just make a mistake and we'll show you how it's done.
And then they can afford it.
Yeah, and then they take it away from you. They take the woman away from you. Yeah.
Actually, I was just seeing a video a friend of mine has posted on WhatsApp ya kusema, if you're friends with a rich guy, jua tu kugongewa is almost a possibility as long as you and your woman are hanging around that rich guy. But also, I think also it depends on the character of that rich guy. If kama akona tabia, but sometimes it is actually the women who katia
that guy. And like they just want to the other side, they just want to jump to the other side of the street.
But sina kuomosha. If he's taking care of my man and me by extension.
No.
See, we are closing the bridge.
No. And men also when they are into somebody's shamba and they know it, they don't wanna plant there. Yeah. They will just harvest. Don't wanna plant there.
Yeah, that's why we're discussing sexual hygiene today.
Is it?
Yeah. So when you hear the word sexual hygiene, men were like really, really like saying women can be really bad. I was telling you that the last time you were speaking, you said that when a man comes over to your house to have sex with you, and then you do not allow him to shower. Yes.
And a lot of people were thinking that is so this guy is gonna be walking around in town with cum all over him. And that's not sexual hygiene. You should allow them to wash themselves.
I think the conversation is relative because maybe the context varies with even who am I fucking. The person I'm fucking lives. I'm not fucking anyone, but I mean in that context. The person I would be fucking would be like 10 minutes away from me. So he's not walking anywhere and he drives his own car.
But how?
So he's not zururaing anywhere. He's going straight home.
That's an assumption though.
Yeah.
Well, how do you know he's going home?
Okay, if he decides to go to Zurura in town, that's on him. That it's not my business.
But that's you to understand that he might not actually be going out, because you told me that when you call a sneaky link, he might be up and about his business. He's passing by your house for 30 minutes.
Okay,
he still has shopping to do.
Okay,
he still has a gig to go to.
Yeah.
So he's going to go to Syokimau aende Westlands kwa gig. Na wewe ndo ulimwambia kama Nyayo Stadium akuje kwako Westlands.
Sneaky link anakuja saa 9 kwani?
Huh?
Mchana. You know, okay, I think this whole conversation is very relative, and you should make the things we say here apply to you in your context, because my perception of a sneaky link, the reason I said that statement is because if I were to have a sneaky link, this is someone I do not care for emotionally. This is someone, and that's the reason I don't do sneaky links.
But even if you do not care for him that way, you care for his well-being. You care for the hygiene, because if he's gonna die tomorrow, you're not gonna have anybody to nini. He's gonna slid on his cam. There is nobody. There is nobody to call tomorrow. I mean, even if you don't like anybody, you are like, okay, you are a human being. You're a human being.
Yeah.
At least.
True.
Yeah. So
okay.
you're not.
Okay. Let me put it this way.
Yeah.
From where I'm sitting, the reason I do not have sneaky link type relationships is because I have to force myself to care.
Yeah.
Because I'm starting from a point I don't care. I just want sex from you. So tukianza kuingisha hizo ati he can stay over and cuddle, he can have a shower, I can make something for him to eat, it beats the casualness of the sex. And that's why I keep preaching that I do not believe in such setups, because if you meet someone like Roberta who does not care for you emotionally, I will not let you shower in my house. Are you getting what I'm trying to explain?
Yeah.
Because if it's something beyond a sneaky link, then I will care, even on a human level. But because I know myself, because I know if there's no emotional connection, it's just sex, I might treat you unfairly. I might treat you badly. I might force you to go home with your cum spread on my cum spread all over your body, so you go wash it in your house. So that's why I avoid such settings. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't have human emotions, but I think from where I'm seated and how I feel about such casual relationships, I really don't owe you anything. And you can even get mad at me and say, Bobbie's not human, she doesn't care. But yeah, because of the nature of the relationship, I don't think there should be any exceptions. If you want to shower in my house, become my
But at least somebody entering your body should be able to shower in your house.
That's very true.
Somebody entering your body should be able to shower in your place.
You know why I say this story? It's because it has happened to me before. Someone came over, we had sex, and it was usiku. Me, I was expecting them to leave. I wanted him to leave because I don't like him, I'm not in love with him, I don't want to spend time with him. And this guy was like, you know, I can cook something. He's a very amazing cook. Aki, he's going to watch this episode. But it was kitambo, so
that's up to you, sneaky link.
Move on. And then they wanted to cook, and they wanted to spend more time. How about I do a massage for you? And I know these feelings from him are coming from a place of I care. I want to make you feel good. I want to make you enjoy the night. I want to make sure I make you feel like I take care of you. But because I'm very detached emotionally from the relationship, that sounds like a threat to me. It sounds like, nope, if you start doing all those things, you start wanting to come and doing them again, and then you leave. And you see, the fucked up part is that night, so this guy stayed over. I was trying to get him to leave, but he just ended up staying over. And even when we were going to bed at night, he was like, so let's get under the covers. And in my head, I had such a huge dilemma, because I was thinking, I don't even want this man here. Now he wants to sleep in my sheets? No, I'm not letting a man, And you see why? That's why I don't want to have such casual sex. Because if I feel a type of way, imagine mtu amenidishi, lakini staki alale kwa sheets zangu, staki aoge kwa shower yangu. So there's no point for me having a sneaky link. There's literally no point. I might mistreat you, and it'll feel bad. That's why I am sworn off such relationships.
Yeah.
After that guy, I just said, this is not for me. And then after that, you see, I let him do those things he wanted to do. So you cook for me, massage me. This man fell in love. And that was not the premise of the relationship. A sneaky link is supposed to be fast, casual, and direct. kuja ugonge vitu kama umeenda pale unaenda. Ukianza mambo za kunipikia na nini, and I know it sounds mean, they will really cook me for what I'm saying right now, but I think that's why I just cannot do such relationships. Either become my boyfriend so that it's clear and it's open, this is the kind of relationship we have with each other, or leave me alone. Because I won't let you sleep in my sheets, I won't let you... Even sitting on my couch, I really have to think about. It's an internal thing. Let me say it's a Robberta issue. It's not a universal issue. But that's how I think about it. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Do you kind of get what I mean?
I get what you mean. I think that sometimes you get into situations that do not allow you to function as a human being anymore because of fundamentally something that we would call lust. Yeah, I think there are some that even there are some things that you do, and after it you just post whatever clarity.
Yeah, you're like, why did I do that?
Yeah,
Why did I even let
it's just strange. It's just like, you know, I don't know, having slept with a woman and she's there, she needs to go, man.
So it's a human feeling. It's not just a robot.
And I think sometimes the reason why it's like she needs to go is probably because, I don't know, there is nothing more.
Yeah, there's no emotional
no
connection.
Stories.
Yeah, there's nothing, and you know for sure you don't want to make this, you know, move past here. So now when you hear the word sexual hygiene, what comes to your mind? Sexual
hygiene, I think, sometimes I think about it in two parts. How you take care of your sexuality, your genitals, your penis, your vagina, your boobs, your you know, the nether regions, all right? Ass crack. Yeah, I hear some men do not oil their buttocks.
A lot of men
do not. Yeah. So when you see it in the bathroom, in the bedroom, you're like, Farara, bro.
And then men have nice asses.
And then it is akuna oil. Or maybe that's what attracted to women. No oil, you know.
Yeah.
So I think of it in two ways. The first one is taking care of your body, and the second one is what you do before sex or after sex. I think that would, for me, sum what sexual hygiene is.
Yeah. Okay, so sexual hygiene. How I feel we can explain it in, you know, different ways. And what you've explained first is like the physical part of sexual hygiene, making sure your body is clean, hygienic for sex. This is the making sure things like you shower, you're clean. For the ones who have anal sex, you make sure you douche. Do you know about douching?
No.
So douching is an English term. Mark amenismailia, ameniangalia hivi.
Mark ni nani? McLean.
Yeah.
McLean, you know about douching? That is serious. So what is douching?
You know, I like for this place to be open so we can talk about everything.
Yeah.
So douching.
McLean is open.
Douching. So douching is when you clean an orifice with water.
An orifice? What is an orifice?
Is a hole in your body.
Anyone
now we're talking about genitals. So you can douche your vagina and you can douche your asshole.
Okay, like what they do at the car wash.
So there's a you can do it with your fingers. You can take just your fingers and you can just put it inside your orifice and like wash with water and put water and wash. You can use a bidet. You know a bidet? A bidet
is that thing for Islams?
Everyone, okay, not really, but yeah.
But it's made for I mean...
Ile tapia choo ya maji.
Yes, ndio hiyo ya kwa Islamu.
Yeah. So
kwa sababu sisi tunatumia toilet paper.
Yeah, so you use it to wash, you know.
Why a bidet though? Because of how small and tiny it is?
Okay, for bidet, I'd say external only. But if there's something called a douche, it can just be a plastic bottle with a small pipe extension.
Okay.
Imeshikana nayo.
Okay.
So you put it in the orifice, unaijaza maji, clean water. Do not put soap in it because you're not supposed to put anything in your body that will change the pH. So
the anus has got pH.
I think every part of your body has a certain maybe temperature or conditions that keep it suitable for how it's supposed to be. If you change something, you change the whole makeup of that place. So you can put it for the anus, people who have anal sex. Some of the preparation that they do before they have sex using the anus is the douching.
Yeah.
So you take the douche, you put it in your anus with the water, then you keep unaifinya, inaosha, inatoa everything that is inside there. Kama kuna mafi, kama kuna nini inatoa. Some people douche their vaginas, but you're not supposed to douche your vagina at all, even with water. The inside of your vagina is supposed to remain the way it is. You're not supposed to touch it, wash it with anything. You're only supposed to wash the outside.
No, but I hear some people are saying that there is a way it's supposed to be washed. How do you clean your V?
Yeah.
How are you supposed to clean it then?
Okay, so let's go back to the physical where we had started. So this is all part of the physical sexual hygiene, cleaning your body, making sure your body is clean. Different parts of your body are washed differently. Kama chini ya makwapa, maybe unaweka sabuni, kwa skin unaweka sabuni. But kwa genital areas, especially the vagina, I don't know much about the penis. Maybe you'll tell us about how to wash the penis. But when it comes to the vagina, you're supposed to use warm or room temperature water. You just wash the outside of the vagina. The vagina has lips, the pussy lips. So every fold, you make sure you wash inside. Vizuri, unapanua hivi vizuri kabisa, unaangalia ndani, unaosha hivi vizuri with your hands, with just your fingers or a warm cloth, a clean cloth.
And you use a mirror?
You can, but I don't know how practical it is to use a mirror every day in the shower. But because you know your anatomy after some point, you know what your body looks like.
Okay.
You can look. Me, I normally just look. Na inamanga tu naangalia. So you unapanua miguu, unaosha tu pole pole vizuri, you clean. No soap, no perfumes, no scented what. No vaginal, whatever, all those things they sell for you online to tell you it will make you smell like pineapples or strawberries. Nothing. Your vagina is supposed to be washed only with water. You clean.
And now the question is, why should you only wash it with water?
Okay.
And nothing else?
Okay. So the vagina, the vaginal area, the genitals of women, like I had said, this environment, iko na certain conditions that are supposed to remain exactly the way they are, because the vagina has certain bacteria, certain fungi, different stuff, but these things are supposed to be there because they control the pH, the taste, the smell, the health of your vagina. Oh, nice. They control the overall environment of your vagina. So if you do anything that affects the pH, even soap, hata ile sabuni unaoga tu nayo every day, if you put it there and then it takes away, let's say, a certain type of bacteria, it will affect the pH of your vagina. So the vagina is very acidic. The pH is low, inakwanga uko 1, 2, 3, between 1 and 5. It's very low, which means that it is very, very acidic. So if you alter that, ata tu kidogo, that's when you get things like yeast infections, chronic yeast infections, bacterial infections, infections that come about, fungus. It affects. So that's why you're not supposed to wash with anything else. I see people say, sijui steam, sijui ukalie perfume, sijui moshi, sijui nini. These things have been done even culturally, but now that we know better and we have much more information, you have to understand that your vagina is not a playground for you to start trying out.
That is very controversial. But then okay.
Oh wait, let me talk about the douching.
Okay.
So the vagina, even just with clean water, you're not supposed to douche the vagina. You're not supposed to put even clean water inside the vagina because it could also affect the pH of that area. So the only place I think you can douche, that's enough, is maybe your anus, for the people who partake in anal sex.
Don't know about people who partake on anal sex.
You had a question for me.
Yeah, but I wanted to ask you for the
Your glass.
No, I don't want that. What I wanted to ask you is that for women who masturbate using the shower head, isn't that putting a lot of water into their?
Yeah.
What do they do, by the way? The women that masturbate with the shower head, what exactly are they doing?
They're directing the sharp stream of water towards the clit, not inside the vagina. I don't know if they do it inside the vagina, but I would like to think they're making it hit the clit for clitoral stimulation. If there's people who put it inside them, I think that's a bit... It's in the shower. I don't know how clean the shower head is for you to even be doing that. So I wouldn't...
No, but I think I have always thought that it's the jet of water that creates that sensation.
Yeah, but to the clit, not inside the vagina.
But the clit, what do you mean inside the V? It's the clit. The clit is inside. It's not like it's outside. It's not like a penis. It's inside.
It's exactly like a penis. It's not inside.
But it's not outside, though.
It is outside.
No. When a woman,
are you admitting on camera you don't know where the clit is?
No. That's not what I'm saying. When you see a woman standing naked,
yes,
there is the lips come together.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
So when you open it,
yes,
that is when you see the clit. Right? And it's,
yes,
that's what I'm saying. So the moment you apply jet water in there is no way it's not going to enter the vagina.
Okay, the difference is
the
clit is compared to the vagina, the clit is outside.
Yeah. But when you are having a jet on it, the jet is finding its way in.
Inside?
Yeah.
Like where the penis goes?
Not to that extent.
Oh, that's what I thought you were saying.
No, not to that extent.
Okay.
So I do not imagine that. Let's say that that is the whole length of a vagina, right? Okay, that's the whole length. The clit is outside, but when you're hitting the jet that is outside here, it's sort of getting in. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I understand your question now.
Yeah.
I think I don't like getting on the internet telling people what to do, but I'd hate to think you're putting something that you do not clean or that is in a bathroom that is used by everyone else or that has been used by other people if it's a rental you're living in or I don't know that you're putting it anywhere. People do it, but I think ikifika hapo just get a sex toy. You can enter the bathroom with your sex toy if you're that horny inside the shower. Like kama imekufikisha hapo sana. Yeah. I wouldn't advise you to put anything foreign inside your vagina that you're not cleaning especially or that is not supposed to be inside your vagina. It's very dangerous. So that's the physical part of sexual hygiene. Making sure that you bathe. And not just your genitals, your whole body, because nobody wants to suck your dick and your balls are smelling like ass and musky or like makwapa zinanuka umesweat or mgongo yako iko na like hygiene.
That's what I don't understand there though about one night stands, because it's happening at 2 a.m. and you have been dancing from 5.
Yeah.
And you can imagine trying to go down on somebody after all that energy has been. It's ridiculously inhygienic.
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand about those things. But I imagine that people are doing them under the influence
of alcohol.
So drugs. Of anything.
Yeah.
So you're not.
And some people, that's exactly what turns them on. That's what sets off the pheromones. The smellier. There
is that smell, and then there is the one that has turned around,
like rancid and
sour. Like for example, I like the smell of women that are not smelling any perfume, just smelling their skin.
Yes.
There is the fresh smell of sweaty skin. Then there is the one that has expired. So for example, if you bathe 5 in the morning, you will have that scent, that very nice scent during the day until around 2. Then around 2 it now turns into something else. So imagine now later on at 1 in the night. Yeah. It's no longer this.
Now that when I brought up poo-poo, I saw a video of someone saying, mtu akikupaka mafi hapa, si utaenda uoshe na sabuni.
Yes.
So how come when we shit, we just wipe with tissue and walk around like everything is okay and normal?
I have a very big problem with tissue issue.
Yeah.
Especially kwa sababu ukiara. That is why there is an Islam guy who told me I would rather not go to the toilet if there is no water to clean my ass. Yeah. And I think that
that makes a lot of sense.
The idea of using toilet paper is very capitalistic.
Yes.
Because essentially I think we should be able to wash our asses.
Yeah.
But I also feel like it's very, the reason why we have toilet paper is that it is very convenient. It's very convenient. Yeah, it's very convenient. At least we are still animals. You can imagine that a bull just harass na inafanya tu hivi na the what is it called, the tail. Yeah? And then it will just dry off and they go on about their business. At some point it's dry completely.
Yeah.
I think for humans what complicates the issue is that we have got so much fabric on us.
Yes.
Because it, you see, and then animals also, there is a way they walk. Their genitals are very much exposed outside. So even if they poo-poo, it is gonna dry up, and because of the tail, we don't even have a tail that will make sure that place is properly done. So I think that water is important, but even for Muslims, I always do not understand, because if you look at that bidet or bidet, what do you call it? Bidet. So even if you look at that, the whole situation of a bidet, so you get into a bathroom, okay? You shit. And then the bidet is like, it goes, you splash it, and then I imagine that you use now the toilet paper to wipe out the extra water, right? And I think that is how it should be.
Yeah.
But then also what I've realized with Muslims is that their toilets are very messy.
How so?
Like it's full of water, always water everywhere. Like I used to work at a place with lots of Muslims. The problem I kept getting into the bathroom is that whenever you touch in the bathroom, it's water. Like, I was very much close to a toilet and the whole place was really clean. So I used to walk around with socks a lot. Oh. But then I couldn't go to the toilet with the socks.
Yeah.
Because whenever you go there is always water on this. Because I think, if a man cannot point with his dick to the hole, at a point na bidet.
Oh, so the water splashes
everywhere. You find it on the toilet seat. You find it on the floor. You find it everywhere, and then it's just a mess.
I think then that boils down to like a personal issue.
No, it's difficult because that thing also when you switch it off, you don't know how jetty it is. In a splash na wapi, you have to try it. Yes, so iko na hiyo kikitu ya kuinini, and I think it has got several, ukiweka kidogo settings. Inatoka kidogo. So now and you're like, why should I take it? Yeah. You take it to your ass, and then it splashes your ass with your nyoto. So what I think about it is it's really messy.
Yeah.
Okay, it's really messy, and it is, if it is inside your house, you know the settings very well. You know how to regulate it. And you can take your time and clean the floor after it has gone bad. And that is why these days I see them selling very big toilet seats. Toilet seats because you have the allowance to, because imagine somebody with a big ass. Ass yako imejaza huko already.
Uwezi eka mkono hata pahali, lazima usimame. Yeah,
so unasimama splash wapi?
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so it's just difficult. You can't like splash it. So that is the problem I think I have with that bidet thing. For us, for the rest of us who are Christians, toilet paper becomes handy. It is a stopgap. You are. That's why people need to bathe when they go back to sleep,
Yes.
or you retrain yourself to shit before you go to the bathroom. Because I think that's how I have trained myself.
Oh yes.
I've
so
trained,
that you shower.
yes, I trained myself to shit every time I wake up. Before I go to the bathroom, you shit, and then you go to the bathroom and wash yourself properly, and then you shit the next morning. Right? I think that is a better way of going around it.
Sure.
But I think toilet paper is just something that you use for in 8 hours you're gonna bathe. All right, so you're just using it because there is nothing you can do just to stop it, and because we've got a lot of fabric on ourselves, you can't smell that poop. The only problem is that kama umehara,
Skin marks. What's up with a lot of, women are saying they're washing their husbands' underwears na ziko na skid marks sana. So many women are washing shit in their husbands'.
that is a problem with poverty, because essentially that thing should be in the
Washing machine.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Oh my goodness.
Man, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I do not. I think this is not from privilege, by the way, and I'm not privileged anyway. Yeah. But I feel like people should save
and buy
a washing machine, because what a washing machine does is that it saves your clothes from looking a particular way. If you have a T-shirt and you have a maid servant kusugua you kitu every weekend, it's gonna be tough for you, It's gonna be tough if you're going to do that every weekend. Every weekend,
Nguo inaanza kuchakaa.
Yeah. But also, I hope that you are enjoying that episode, people of the internet. Everybody says there is no job, and that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their own town, in their own city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs, mothers call uncles, uncles call fathers, but there are no jobs, right? Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many, many jobs around the world, and there is no one to do them. I have worked for a long time online, I think more than 10 years. I work for Americans, I work for Europeans, I work for the Chinese, the Australian, Canadians, the Ugandans, name all of them. And last year, I had a eureka moment. I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I have been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a book called Goldmine, 18 Side Hustles for Africans. And it sold a lot of copies. In fact, sometimes I was receiving 500 orders in a day. In 2025, something happened. AI came. I think in 2025, AI came. AI came in 2024, but in 2025, it is here with us. And people say AI is taking away their jobs. And for me, I'll say false. There are actually AI jobs. Na mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. We now have in my book 25 online and offline side hustles that you can do anywhere in the world, whether you are in the village, whether you are in your small town, whether you're in a marketplace, whether you are in your house, you can do them. In this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance, drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I have made and lessons I have learned over 15 years in this online job market. You can become an executive assistant to busy folks in Europe, America, and Canada. You can also get paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. There are many of them, and they're in my book. You can also build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce without a shilling. You can also become an affiliate marketer or an online English tutor. And you can also do tens of AI jobs, and they're all in these books. If you have a job, that is fine, but I know around you there are so many people that are always looking for jobs and at home watching Netflix. Buy this book for your brother, for your sister, for your mother, cousin, husband who is back at home all day, all night watching Netflix. Okay? Buy it for your friends. That friend who is always asking you for cash, you can buy this book for them. All the information is in the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or you can go to my website, which is oduorjagero.co.ke. The book is only 1,000 Kenya shillings. Or if you're anywhere around the world, the book is $10. So thank you very much. Back to programming. So it takes away the problem of skid marks. Yeah. It takes away the problem. But I don't know why men tend to have that problem of skid marks.
They don't wipe properly. That's what I think. They go through the day. I mean, anyone can have skid marks. It's just it's not just a men issue, although we hear it a lot from men. But I think people really don't think about these things. As if it was a hygiene, people think, you know, a lot of the things we do ni habit. I wake up, I shower, napaka dio, natoka, naenda na pupu, najipanguza, natoka. But we never really sit and think, okay, this dio, is it helping me? Is it good for my type of odor and my type of sweat? Is it helping me not smell bad or whatever? When I go to the toilet and I poo-poo, nikijipanguza, nimejipanguza tu, ama have I wiped well? You know, like I personally make sure after I'm done wiping, I have to wipe again last year to check, is everything okay? Because I really hate to have skid marks. So I put a lot of intention in my hygiene and making sure this small things. And I
also think that the toilet papers are not born the same. They are very bad toilet paper.
True.
Very, very bad toilet paper. And I think even for women, they remain on their V area.
Yes.
They remain there. Yes. So, like, for me, I had to change toilet papers for my household because there are just some toilet papers that are very bad for women. Unaweka tu hivi, because I think women who are very meticulous with the way they wipe themselves. And there are toilet papers that are very low grade, bad quality, and the moment they hear anything watery, especially women susuing, you put it there, it remains there.
True. Very true.
You see, so I think that you have to, as people, we should also look at a lot at the quality of, you just can't just go to a supermarket and pick.
True.
At least, I don't know, you should have one for wiping the V and one for wiping the ass.
Yeah.
Because the ass, poop is a bit dry, and so, and it won't remain there. But for the V, it remains on the area there. And most women do not know that it has remained there.
It's true. And sometimes you'll notice later when you're bathing.
Yes.
Or when your man tells you, you know, babe, you have shit and tissue stuck in your ass. When he's going to eat you out. That's when you find out. Jags, tell us about washing the penis. How do you keep your penis
I think there are two kinds of penises. There is the one that is uncircumcised. There is the one that is circumcised. Now, the one that is not, especially from my community, the Nilotic community that do not circumcise, we have the glands, we have the skin, the soft tissue skin that covers the glands. The soft tissue skin that covers the glands, on erection, it completely disappears. You will never see it on a full erection. So when you, for example, have sex as a sneaky link, that's why I'm telling you, you have to allow a Nilotic sneaky link to go to the bathroom. A Nilotic sneaky link, he has to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Because when they have sex and they have, you know, the ejaculant, you know, when the penis goes into a flaccid state, magically the foreskin comes out again and wraps over the glands. And if it is wrapping over the glands, it's wrapping over the glands with every bacteria it has collected from the woman. You know, and if it is a very aggressive bacteria, it can go through the glands and give an infection. And that is why, do you know why HIV is very prevalent in the Luo region? Because of the foreskin. The foreskin for a Luo is extremely fragile. Because each and every time when the penis is in a flaccid state, it is covered. It does not rub on the trouser. It does not rub anywhere. It is completely protected.
Yes.
You know,
that's essentially its role.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's essentially the role of and that is why there are so many people who do not want circumcision for sex, because it takes almost 70% of your sexual sensitivity. Ask a gak.
Are you serious?
Yes. Yes.
So then why are we doing it? Why is it being
Circumcision is fucked up. Circumcision is completely fucked up. If, for example, if for example, somebody who was circumcised teenagehood does not know what has been taken away from him. But circumcise a man who is an adult, who has had sex before, and then is going back to having sex after circumcision, it is gone.
Oh my God. So this is mutilation then?
Of course it is. That is why in some countries now you cannot circumcise a child.
So then why do we praise it and like we still talk about?
No, there is nothing good about circumcision. There's nothing completely good about circumcision.
Because when it's done to women, it's a problem. But all of a sudden, when it's being done to men,
it is the same concept. The same concept is the same. Yeah. There is no difference. When they cut a woman's clit and they cut a man's foreskin, it's the same thing.
Oh my goodness.
There is no difference.
Because I couldn't imagine like my clits being.
Yes.
That's like the head of your dick.
And imagine they are doing it without the consent of the person. It's like somebody are believing that this one does not have anything to do with your body, so they cut it at birth.
I think this topic needs its own hour.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And there are people who are circumcised because of a reason. Like I was circumcised because I had a condition where I kept having, when I wake up, I kept having cuts on my glands.
How come?
Maybe during an erection at night. You are nini, you sleep on your penis, something happened, and I used to have those cuts all the time. And when you have a cut on your glands,
it's painful.
It's painful, yes, but it does not heal. Yeah. Okay. So I decided to go for the cut because of that. And it never came.
How old were you when you did it?
No, I was old enough.
Okay.
So
it was consensual from yourself?
I am the one who took myself to the hospital and discussed with the doctor. And that is how it was done. Okay. You see? But I do not think that children should be circumcised under any... If it is medical, and I don't know what medical condition leads to circumcision, then they should be circumcised. But people should circumcise when they are over 18. Yes. They have to have that express, because it is the same thing. The reason why they cut women is the same reason why they cut men.
Could subdue your sexual
I don't know why they do it. I don't know why Kikuyus and all these other Kalenjins or whatever do it, but it's not right to do it. Yeah, but anyway, I was explaining to you why the penile hygiene is different from the two.
The circumcised and
yes.
uncircumcised.
So you see, the moment you have sex, and that is why a lot of people in the Nyanza were getting HIV and the virus because of that. First of all, their skin, their glands is ultra sensitive, and the membrane is very soft.
So sex is much better when you're uncircumcised.
Oh yeah. So iya Kikuyus and the Kambas imeona jua, imeharden.
Does it make the penis lose like sensitivity?
That's what it does.
Yeah.
That's what it does, because now it's exposed. It's exposed to the underwear. Zip. It's exposed to the zip. It's exposed to the what. But what it does is, once you take out the glands, the body now decides to protect itself by giving it an extra layer of protection. That extra layer of protection takes away the sensitivity.
So venye tuliumbwa hakuna makosa. Tuko tu sawa.
Tuko sawa tu, because that thing magically retracts. Huwezi kuiona.
It's true. Actually, if you've had sex with someone who, if you've seen an uncircumcised penis, when he's hard and ready to fuck, you can't tell the difference.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Completely. And then it comes back. So that means that for you as a man who is not circumcised, you need to take extra, care. You have to wash it after sex.
So when you wash it, you pull back the carpet.
Yes. It pulls back. It is, the mechanism is so interesting. You should try pulling back somebody's. It just goes back and lalas, vizuri. And then you clean it and then it goes back.
Okay.
You do not want that man to stay with his glands, having your calm down for the rest of for another 8 hours.
Yeah.
You don't want that to happen. But of course, for men who are not circumcised, they can easily even take a wet wipe and wipe properly.
No, men who are circumcised.
Who are circumcised,
yeah,
they can do that. And also they have another layer of protection because it is hardened up. It has undergone weather changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are some of the ways, like if you're teaching a young boy how to wash their genitals, how would you teach them? What would you say?
I don't know. It's pretty simple. Roll it back, wash it nicely. For the penis, you can use soap. There is no problem.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, you can use soap. They masturbate using soap.
And lotions.
Yeah, so there is no problem there.
Okay, yeah.
I think they can do that.
Okay.
But I always feel like under the balls, there is a lot of sweat that is there.
We can attest.
Yeah, under the balls, and then I think the sweat of the ball is a bit different in smell.
Very musky and.
Yeah, so inafaa isuguliwe. Suguliwe tu vizuri. And lined with nice lotion. Yeah, but I believe in oiling yourself as a man. I think it makes a big difference.
It does. You look cleaner.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the physical part of sexual hygiene. We can move to the spiritual aspect of sexual hygiene. And I feel like this is the part where the audience really wanted me to dive in when they were asking the question about sexual hygiene. Because we talk about, showering, using condoms. Oh, we didn't mention condoms as well. That's also part of, a physical way to make sure that you're hygienically, safe. Actually, let's dive into that before. When we're talking about sexual hygiene, especially in the physical aspect, we talk about self, a lot of things you need to do personally. But I'd like to add in the other side of where now you take your partner into account, where you need to do things like medical checkups, making sure you eat well, making sure you drink enough water. Hata hiyo kujipaka mafuta kwa when your skin is looking healthy, you're more attractive to your sexual partner. When you're looking well hydrated and like you eat well, you have the strength to fuck better. And all this is part of sexual hygiene. Making sure you've gone in for the STI tests, the pap smears, just making sure your tests are done. HIV, STIs, the full panel STI tests. What's a full panel STI test? So this is where they take your blood and then they run tests for every possible STIs. And I think this is something everyone should do after and before a sexual relationship. Personally, that's what I do to keep my sexual hygiene in check. After I get out of a relationship with someone, I go to the hospital, I get all my tests done. Urine and blood, full blood tests, full everything. I need to know if something is wrong before I jump into another relationship. Especially if it's gonna be sexual, because I would hate to carry baggage from another relationship into something new. Also, just personally, I like to know I'm in tip-top shape. I like to know I don't have diseases or infections. And sometimes the infections that show up in a sexual relationship are not necessarily sexually transmitted. Things like if a man comes in you, remember we said the pH of the vagina is very acidic. But for the man, it's very different. It's very basic. The pH of the semen and the genitals of a man are very basic. So if you take something with a pH of 14 and you put the semen in a vagina with a pH of 1, it's going to affect the neutrality of that. So sometimes when that happens, like when a man comes inside you, you can get a yeast infection. simply because his semen has changed the pH balance of your body. It doesn't even have to be like an STI or that he's sick or he's brought you a sickness. Just the simple fact that his vagina is foreign and his bodily fluids do not augur well with yours. So that can affect your pH. And these are the things you're supposed to know around each other. You're supposed to have these open conversations. That's why I advocate for people to get tested every year for HIV, at least thrice. Every 3 months, even if you're not participating actively in sex, go and get tested. At least, kama ni mbaya sana, once a year. Once a year. Ukwe tu unajua rada how your body is like. And I think that's what I'd add to the physical aspect of sex. Other than just you making sure you shower. You have to make sure you eat well, you rest well, you take care of your body, you dress well, you smell good, you feel good, because all this inachangia to how you fuck. That's my personal belief.
There are people who claim to put some things in their V so that it
tastes and smells good.
Yeah.
Capitalism. You see, a big thing is that a lot of us women a lot of human beings, we do not have conversations around sex and sexual hygiene in general. So we don't know, kama iyo yeast infection ya, when someone comes inside you and then it changes your pH. If you don't know anything about even pH, sijui acidic, basic, whatever, you might easily think you have an infection, right? So the first thing you're going to do if you find out, and how this infections show up is you start smelling funny. Ushaisikia wase wakisema ati dema nanuka kama fish, ama kuma yake nanuka kama fish or something. You start smelling funny, you start itching, you have an inflamed vulva, vagina and all this. Sometimes it's not an STI, it's simply because your pH balance has been thrown off. But if you don't have this kind of information, it's so easy for someone to sell you something on your insecurities. I'll come and tell you, your vagina smells like fish. I have these suppositories that if you put they are made of strawberries and pineapples. If you put it inside your vagina, you're going to smell really good. But there's no difference.
So you're basically just masking.
Exactly. You're not.
And there could be an underlying problem.
Exactly. And maybe the issue is in your gut. Maybe the issue is your boyfriend's semen. Maybe the issue is what you're eating. Your boyfriend's semen? Yeah. If it doesn't agree with your body, if you're not compatible with each other, if it throws off your pH balance, maybe that's the reason. But if you don't, or maybe it's an actual STI, maybe you have gonorrhea. But because we're not having these conversations openly, I can come out of nowhere and start telling you, hey Jagero, if you put this pill inside your vagina, it's going to smell so good and it's going to become better. Or if you sit in this steam bath, but people are not understanding, these are the things that dry you out. Putting direct heat, whether it's in the form of steam or umekalia moto ya kuni, ama umekalia moshi, it's drying out your vagina. It's going to dry you out. If you wash it with hot water, it's going to dry you out. If you wash it with soap and you put which lotions and what inside your vagina, it's going to dry you out, it's going to cause inflammation and it's going to cause irritability. It's going to and these women who use these things, maybe if they're able to be honest, they can tell us in the comments. After you found out you had an issue with your vagina and then you listened to someone on Instagram selling you something, first of all, you have to realize these people don't use these things they sell to you. Kila mtu akomboka. Ni kama hizo vitu za Ozempic tulikuwa tunasema na sijui nini. Kila mtu akomboka. Everyone is just trying to make some money. So if I can find an insecurity, and I find a lot of women have their pHs thrown off because they're using soap inside their vagina, instead of giving them the real information like, hey babes, stop using soap inside your vagina, it profits me to come and tell you, hey, I have these lemons that I am selling. If you just pour it on your vagina and then you put it inside and you massage, the smell is going to go away. That's very harmful, but people don't have this information firsthand. And I've realized when you talk about it openly on social media, of course that business community is going to come for you because unawaharibia mboka. But I hate for women especially to be stuck in ignorance, especially about their bodies. You need to know everything about yourself. You need to know your vagina. You need to know if it's in the heat, what happens. If I go to a cold place, what happens. If I don't shave my foodies, is it okay? If I shave them, is it affecting me? If I apply lotion and all these things, you need to know about your body. Because it affects you directly, and in turn it affects your partner. Because if you catch a yeast infection and he puts his dick inside you, maybe it's not even his fault that you keep catching yeast infections, yeah? He's innocent, he's clean, he eats right, he does well, but you wash your vagina with soaps. You buy those suppositories they give you that are not medical. You keep applying apple cider vinegar in your vagina. You shave all the time. And then you shave using things that make your windows.
I want to ask you a question about the shaving where all the hair goes.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
I think, like we said with men, how everything was put where it is because it's supposed to be there. So I'm a big believer that even pubic hair is supposed to be there for a reason. Might not know the reason, but the reason hair grows other parts of the body is because it's protecting us. Like kwa lashes, no dust na weather isikusumbue.
Yes.
Kwa, like our adaptations is to take care of us, yeah? So even the hair in the pubic area, I think it's supposed to be there. And I think for a grown woman, I mean, it's okay to trim, because sometimes it does get sweaty, it can get itchy, especially if you use pads. I use pads on my period. So imagine uko na manywele mingi, alafu umekelea pad, it's sticky, bloody, it can get smelly or sweaty and stuff. So you can trim just a bit. There's people who love being bald, like they shave it off. Kuna watu weka mastingo, mohawk, kuna watu shuka matuta, kuna wale wako na dread hadi. So however you like it is fine. I just find it a bit weird when people impose their own beliefs on other people, saying like shaving it off and waxing and saying, this is what you should do. As a woman, you should shave off your vagina, it should be bald. I think there's a lot of notion rooted in pedophilia around that, because the only person who has a smooth body without hair is a baby. Grown women have hair. We have hair on our feet, kwa makwapa, sometimes around the nipples. We have hair everywhere, in the anus. So I think it's okay, but you can trim according to what seasons you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, to keep it clean and fresh. Yeah.
Thank you. I think we are done with this podcast.
No. I want to add a little bit. In this aspect of hygiene, tumeongea juu ya physical, spiritual, wacha niseme spiritual. I think before you have sex, you have to have a very level-headed mind. You have to love yourself. You have to care about yourself. You have to trust the decisions you make. It's just like when you're entering a business. Not only do you make sure you're okay physically, you also make sure your head is in the right mind frame, as well as your emotions. So the hygiene is not just about your body, it's also about how are you feeling, what are you like, what do you believe in, what are the things you enjoy. You need to know all these things very spiritually and inside you, so that you can relate with your sexual partner on either an emotional level or a mental level. And also there's financial hygiene. I think it's reckless on a personal level for me. I think it's reckless to be fucking when I'm broke. Like when I have no money, I can't get horny. I'm not thinking about sex when I don't have when I don't have money. I'm thinking, how can I make more money? And maybe that's a very skewed way to think about sex, but also it eliminates things like getting pregnant when you're broke, getting STDs when you have no money to go to the hospital and get it fixed. A lot of us get into sex without thinking of all these consequences. We just think, I'm going to have a fast nut and that's it. But I think we need to take a pause and think about not just the physical aspects of like, do I look good? Do I feel good? Can I fuck good? But also, do I feel good? Do I like this person I'm sleeping with? Do I want them in my sheets? Do I want them to shower in my home? Do I feel safe around them? And then Yendelea, can I give them, can I buy a gift for them? This is just an example. Can I give her Uber money? Can I make a nice meal for him because we had amazing sex all night and it's in the morning we'd like to eat, you know? Things like, you can't do that if you don't have money. If you don't have money, kila mtu anapiga kalesa anaenda mali ametoka. So this hygiene is very all-rounded. It's not just about, you, it's about caring about each other, making sure you're creating a very conducive environment for you to be able to enjoy quality sex. So hygiene is ukishaosha uko chini, make sure bank account yako iko sawa, make sure una feel poor mentally, make sure emotionally uko safe. And yeah, I think now we're done with the conversation. I think I've talked about all sorts of, hygiene towards sex. Yeah, maybe if you'd like to add something to the conversation.
I'm okay.
Why are you so is the couch cozy and comfortable?
Yeah, it's very cozy, but I think I love the whole thing. I perhaps what I should add is people should wash their clothes.
Oh yes.
Just to wash your clothes properly. Like if you're coming out of the house, why can't your clothes just be clean and toasty?
Yes. And wear clean clothes, wear clean shoes, clean your nails. Mtu anakufinga na huku kwa manini.
Yeah, the podcast is done.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode on Dialogues with Jagero. Today we're discussing sexual hygiene and we're just about to hit the 100 mark on our subscribers. We will be celebrating
100,000.
100,000. Do I keep saying 100? Only 100,000, 100K subscribers. So guys, please, we are imploring you to please patronize us by liking, sharing, subscribing. Leave your comments for us in the comment section. We'd love to see your feedback. And keep sharing the link with your friends. Share this podcast. We talk about things that we'd like to kimaliza conversation hapa. By the time you're clicking off YouTube or wherever it is that you're watching us from, you're able to ask yourself questions. Think about things beyond what we've already discussed. So thank you so much for joining us for this hour. My name is Roberta Bobbie and I'm your host here on Heartfelt with Bobbie. I was joined with Oduor Jagero for this beautiful conversation. Thank you, Jagero.
Thank you very much.
And until next time, toodles.